Welcome to the Truvisionaries 2026. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Brindy Bringhurst. Brindy, how are you?
I'm great, enjoying Scottsdale perfect weather.
I'm jealous. I won't tell you how cold it is here. I'm very jealous. Brindy, congratulations on being included in the Truvisionaries 2026.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Now, we've got three quick-fire questions for you that our audience are dying to know. So, Brindy, tell us, how and why did you get started in short-term rentals?
Yeah, for me, I think it's a story that many can relate to. I wanted some extra money. I was watching what was happening with Airbnb, and I decided to put my own home that I was living in full-time on Airbnb while I was traveling, while I would go stay with my parents and just see what would happen, and made way more than I ever expected and decided I'm going to do more of this. So at first it was totally for the money. I had some repairs on the house that I was trying to cover. I was spread a little thin. So at first it was completely for the money, but I will say there was also this aspect of I love design, and I had done some things to my house that kind of I look back on and make me cringe now, but I was very proud of some design things, that a wall that I had painted and some different things I had done. So it did excite me to kind of share that with people coming in from out of town as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, great. Well, look, you'll have an answer for us here, I'm sure. What's the one thing that hosts are not doing that they should start doing today?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and answer this as clearly as possible. I think there's so much opportunity right now, more than ever, with AI to automate just automate every piece of the business. And I am constantly amazed at the more and more that AI can do and how it can respond to guests sometimes better than I can. And with all of that said, I think what we have to be careful of, and I think what hosts who are doing this as a business, maybe have a co-hosting business or a management business of any type, I think we have to be very intentional, and I'm not sure all hosts are doing this, but be very intentional about finding the places to give that human touch. And I remember when I first started hosting and I was doing it alone without a team yet, I knew every single guest who was checking in. I knew their name. I knew who they were traveling with. I knew the reason they were traveling if they had shared that with me. And I just knew that off the top of my head. And I realized that as I grew a little bit, had the team, more homes, I started losing touch with that. So I actually started losing touch with I don't really know who's coming in today, but all I know is the lock code's working and the place is clean. And, those are the basics, but that's not how you really wow the guest, earn their loyalty, or really just create an experience that is special, that is like what I ultimately want to do. So that's something that I'm trying to do with my team, is trying to look at, let the automation, definitely need automation, definitely use AI, but just make sure that that's not getting in the way of the human touch, and finding how can we still know each individual guest and look at each individual guest as an individual, not just have it kind of sink into the process and just get absorbed in the process, and rather than Sarah's coming and they're celebrating an anniversary. Let's make sure that we, at the very least, we mention it in a message, but hopefully we're leaving a handwritten note and some champagne or something like this.
Yeah, Brindy, I love that. It's really good advice. It's really good advice. And tell us, with the crystal ball out, looking at 2026 and beyond, where's the industry heading?
I feel like I could go a lot of directions with this, but I think keeping with sort of the AI theme, I think we're going to just see further polarization, where I think, the little guy who's just renting out, and I don't want to say just, because I think it's a way to be remarkably successful, an individual person renting out their vacation home. I think this type of person will continue to find a lot of success because they are able to offer something that is different than what larger scale managers and bigger companies are offering. Meanwhile, I think the managers who are doing this right, finding that graceful balance between automation, software and tools, but also still giving that human touch, they're going to continue to see a lot of success. And I think sort of the people in between they're going to find their end one way or another. I think it's going to be a lot harder. It already is, but I think it's going to continue. It's just going to get a lot harder for the people who aren't offering something special or haven't optimized it to be successful. It's just that the easy days of renting out your home and having it be profitable are long gone, and you either got to offer something really special or have it really well optimized. Otherwise, it's a tough space to be in.
I think you're probably right. Yeah. Brindy, thank you so much.